I know that you'd be highly disappointed if I didn't start off with planes, trains, and automobiles. Whoop, there it is. So that's what we're going to be talking about, which are our economic development priorities. On the plane side, we've had some ramp improvements that have been ongoing with the Customs and Border Patrol, some facility improvements, and those are bringing in high-paying jobs into our area. Our airport gateway signage, great project. First of all, we cleared the brush, installed signage that Al Torres designed out there. Reduce the blight as you go outside the airport. Great idea that you're not just running into a wall of trees and brush, but that there's a cleared area so it's visually appealing. And since the airport is our key economic development driver, we want to make the airport look the best that it can. We have a project ongoing, Project Skyline, and we're doing a public-private partnership to restore the GTE hangar, improve the commercial apron along there. They'll be constructing a new FBO terminal, adding new parking facilities for general use parking and rental car parking. San Angelo Railport's one of our huge projects, another public-private partnership. Construction's ongoing. It's underway out there. There is electricity out there now. We're working on gas and water for those facilities. It's an ongoing marketing effort with our partners, the Chamber, and also with the South Plains La Mesa Railroad, marketing that. And this will be a key driver for our economy both now and in the future.
Could we go back to the planes part first, Guy?
Certainly. Ran too fast for that one.
One of the biggest questions that we all hear from constituents and people that are passionate about the airport is, what about airport hangars? What about airport hangars? Can we construct them? Can we, what's going on with the airport hangars? So could Jeremy come forward while we're on this subject and talk about airport hangars?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so as you know, in my CIP, I'm going to come to you with that south taxi lane improvement. It's going to be 90% funded by the FAA under the infrastructure grant. That's going to open up room for 4 additional 90 by 90s and 4 additional 100 by 100 hangars. We're working right now with the FAA through the reimbursable agreement because there is a main transmission line that runs through there. That could take up to 6 months for us just to get the agreement, the paperwork in place to start construction.
Otherwise, what would be your approximate time period to start?
If the FAA wasn't in the way?
Well, they are, so I can't, I can't get around that. But what do we tell people? I want to build a hangar out there. What do I do?
We were hoping to get the grant by the end of July so we could start lease the flat work there. I do have about 3 or 4 spots where somebody could come lease land now and build a 90 by 90 or 100 by 100. I don't have any T-hangars available. I got an 18-person waiting list on all my T-hangars. Executive hangars have been full forever. We just don't have the hangar availability.
Okay, so go ahead, Tom. You were going to say something?
Well, and me and Jeremy, we've had these conversations. Is there somewhere we could start some more hangars? I mean, could we build some shade hangars? I guess there's, to me, when I go out there, there looks like there's lots of property. The point of it is, you're the airport guy, I'm not, and I have to realize I got to stay in my lane, but I look and I'm like, if we could put shade hangars or T hangars here in this spot, I mean, you've got a project and a plan and an approval. Is there things we could do to help you facilitate that?
Yeah, and I think we're doing that with the south taxi lane construction. The problem right now is there is land. There's lots of land out there. The whole east side of the airport can be developed, but you have to have infrastructure to the runways. You got to have a way to get there, and that's multi-million dollars worth of infrastructure. So if somebody wanted land now to build a hangar, they want to be somewhere close to the ramps now. So that south taxi lane, it's about a $4 million investment. We pay 10% of that cost. The FAA pays the rest, but that will open up the whole south side of that taxi lane for T hangars, covered tie downs, and that type of stuff. But if you wanted to build a T hangar today, I just don't have the infrastructure to the ramp.
So can the infrastructure, as far as you're talking electricity?
No, taxi lane, taxiway access.
Okay, so you're just worried about the taxiway.
Yep.
Well, because if you built, let's say, T-hangers outside the fence, they still got to get in through the fence to the runway, and I mean,
Well, I'm with you
Yeah.
on that, but I was wondering if you had a timeline on that. You can't build T-hangers overnight. So I mean, if there's
can't.
a year and you know it's coming, you could at least start this. But I guess, as you say, dealing with FAA, sometimes that window's nothing we can gamble on.
Yeah, and we're not waiting, especially with the executive hangars. When we build this taxi lane, I've already have 4 of those 8 already spoken for. They want to pull a land lease and build. Most of them want to build 90 by 90s. But the mayor's wisdom, she said, let's extend the taxi lane all the way to the fence so we can open up all that area for larger hangars, bigger businesses. And we're also decommissioning runway 927 next year with the next FAA money. And then that will open to the whole industrial park. All the area between the Border Patrol hangar and the new Skyline hangar will be open for development.
So my final question is on hangars. Are all the rented hangars have functional planes in them that are used, or and do we have a minimum? I mean, somebody can't buy it just to store a plane forever. Yeah. Is there a timeline that they have to have out and use their plane so it just doesn't become a storage unit?
We don't have that in our rules and regulations. All we say is it has to be airworthy. An airworthiness certificate's usually about 4 years when you have to register and keep it flying. So when we do our inspections, all we do is make sure that it's insured and that it's airworthy. But we don't have a requirement on how often they fly. Of course, if we'd like to do that, we could consider that as we write minimum regulations and standards.
Well, no, I just go here. I would hate to see something like that. I mean, you know, there's 18 people deep. I'm the worst person at having a storage unit or something that I've never been to the back of. All right, and I don't want our hangars to be used that way.
Right, and we have to stick to the FAA's hangar use policy. We have to inspect those hangars and make sure that they are being used for aviation use. Those hangars are also coded through the fire department, excuse me, for aircraft storage only. So if somebody pulled a boat in there, they'd be in violation of the lease. We'd terminate the lease. Same thing with even someone was storing model airplanes in the back of their hangar. That's a violation of the lease because all you can store is that aircraft with the tail number registered to that hangar. And there was one recently that was not in compliance, but all the other T-hangar, everyone else is in. We're in full compliance now.
I'm good. I was just
okay.
looking at a way to make more hangar space.
It's just a wait.
8 hangars.
There's
and
plenty of space. We just got to get that stuff done.
I'm with you. Hurry up.
We're pushing, hurry up as fast as we can.
Now, is there money? Wait a minute. I can't pass this up.
Okay.
Is there any money for an escalator, a functional escalator out there?
No.
I get it. I got my ding in. Go ahead. I'm done.
It's the part.
That's the only reason he called you
I
up.
understand.
That's it. Because when I fly out, the up one's not working, and when I come back, the back one, the down one's not working.
We know when you're flying out. We know how to shut it off.
He's here. We'll throw the switch. It's looking good. You got lots of people coming in and out of there. The concessions are being handled. It's nice.
And planes and deplanes looking like.
We're almost back to industry standard, and that's nationwide. San Angelo's done very well, even with the cost of plane tickets as high as they are right now. We're still looking at 90% load factors.
Good. Other questions for Jeremy while we have him up here? I don't see any. Okay, thank you.
You totally ruined my 3-minute presentation. But
You make it up.
it was good stuff. We're always glad to come along where we can and help the airport advance to become the world-class facility it can be.
You can move on to rail now.
And do you want me to slow down?
I'll stop you appropriate next time instead of.
Okay, so I think that rail is our future. In San Angelo, we've got lots of prospects that are lining up for that. When the border crossings open at Presidio, I think it's going to really change our economy. We'll become a major distribution center.
Don't you think we will become that before the rail crossing? Because I think that there are other companies looking at it right now that are not necessarily looking at the Presidio.
Within interstate as well, we could see some progress in that regard. in developing warehousing space and that sort of thing. I think it'll really kick off, though, internationally, especially Chihuahua and Sinaloa, Durango, and some of those northern countries or parts of Mexico are just chomping at the bit to get a shorter route for distribution and to not go through the overcrowded port of Laredo as we saw a couple of weeks ago.
Any questions about the rail port? Okay.
Interstate 27 designation, it has been federally designated. And now the importance of having both I-14 and I-27 designated is that actually construction begins almost immediately because as they're making improvements to that designated route right now, that can be done at interstate standards, make them 4-lane and that sort of thing. So we talked about before, the statement was made, you're 20 years off, maybe for a full-blown interstate, but you'll see sections of those interstates developing all along. Fact is, I-27 already exists and has for a number of years between Lubbock and Amarillo in that stretch, and so you'll see it developing in different stages during that time frame as well. You see part of it right now with the 67 construction over across from Howard College. That's being done at interstate standards as well. And also I-14, which is the Gulf Coast Strategic Highway Coalition, or Forts to Forts strategic corridor. And of course, just a reminder that those intersect in San Angelo. So the largest city without a interstate will have 2 interstates. The dynamics of San Angelo will change dramatically. In our industrial park, we're gearing up also for that. Of course, we have rail-served industrial park that we're looking at expansion into, but you'll continue to see in distribution additions to our business park. Phase 1, there were no property sales. We still have about 17.6 acres left with 7 acres under development. In Phase 2, we're opening up additional 118 acres, and we already have prospects for about a 10-acre addition to that already. As soon as we get that property, it's in the process of being cleared right now. So future needs, will continue to look at workforce development in conjunction with our chamber that's doing a great job of really pushing that. We'll emphasize our quality of life initiatives as we have, being a Type B. We're not only recruiting businesses into San Angelo, we're developing quality of life projects. The airport's a prime example of that. Your Chadbourne Streetscape project, others like that. And we'll also collaborate with our development board to update our economic development strategic plan with the chamber. Be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Do I have questions for Guy from anyone up here? Seeing none, you're done.
Thank you.